Next to that is the pause button. It can be a little counterintuitive because when you think pause, you might think pausing a video that's playing, but this is actually going to pause your live image that you're displaying. So another way to look at it is as freezing the screen. When I tap pause, it will give me a red indication at the bottom there to let me know that the camera is paused and not broken or crashed, because as you can see, as I move my hand under the plane, it's not displaying any new information. This allows me to change my document, queue up my next piece of content, have that ready while my students are digesting or copying notes from the content that's on screen. And as soon as I'm ready to move into that next piece of content, I simply tap pause again. It will return me to my live feed for my document camera Solo 8. So great way to control the flow of content of what your students are seeing and how they're seeing it. Another great tool to control how and when your students are seeing their content is located right next to the pause button in your view options. Tapping view options gives you a suite of tool controls. You can rotate your camera, of course, digitally. You can also mirror the image depending upon content that you might be delivering, but I want to draw your attention to the visor tool. When you tap that visor tool, the program did not crash. It just placed a green screen over your image, a green visor. You can use your finger on the touch panel to move and slide that green visor to any direction you so choose, allowing you to block certain parts of a document or content and revealing it when you are ready or when the time is called for in your lesson. So for example, if you're doing a worksheet and you want to cover the answer component of the worksheet, this visor gives you that tool. As I mentioned at the top, most of how you exit a tool is to retrace your steps. So we will retrace our steps by tapping the view option and selecting visor again, bringing me back to my plain home screen. You can also notice that I have the option here to switch to full screen, minimizing the other distracting icons on the screen. I can also activate picture-in-picture. That is useful if I have a second Solo 8 camera, as I have, or a second video camera. It doesn't have to be a Solo 8, but second camera connected through USB. Right now I have a Solo 8 connected through USB, allowing me this picture-in-picture view. And you can also record picture-in-picture within your lessons. Projector and warp mode are cool tools for warp mode, having high frames per second. Recording tool, I encourage you to explore those lesser use functions on your own. You'll notice that there is also a digital slider for the zoom here as well for your convenience, as well as focus button controls here, similar to the controls I covered at the start of our webinar. You can also pick the selective focus and tap on specific parts of the screen to get the camera to focus on those particular parts or objects. Very useful for when you're actually displaying objects, 3D objects, and you need to correct and pick out exact focal point.